How many of you haven't seen me around, or most of you have seen me around? My name is Mr. DeLisle. A lot of people call me Mr. Eric in the school district, or the food guy. But I think since you guys are in 5th grade, right? 5th graders? Okay, help me out a little bit. Since you guys are in 5th grade, you guys can handle the last name DeLisle, so you can call me Mr. DeLisle, or just wave to me in the cafeteria when I go by and say hello. How many of you were at the nutrition talk that I did a couple weeks ago? That's good, good, fantastic. So like I just said, I'm hoping that you're all eating your fruits and vegetables, getting lots of exercise, all that kind of fun stuff. But today is all about what? Who can help me?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss, and is there a name for this week that we're in, or the promotion?
Read Across America.
Read Across America, fantastic. Read Across America is all about what? What are we trying to get you guys to do? Maybe it's an easy question.
Oh, read.
Read. Get you guys to read. And I know you guys are reading already in school, but we're hoping that you're not just reading in school, but you're reading when you get home from school, before you go to bed at night, when you got nothing to do. All right, you're kind of bored. Geez, what am I going to do? Pick up a book, right? And spend some time reading. Who can tell me why it's so important to know how to read, and not just read, but to read well? Yes?
So then you can learn stuff when you get older.
Learn stuff as you get older. Perfect. And why do you need to learn stuff as you get older? Do you think I need to be able to read pretty well?
Yes.
Why do I have to read pretty well? What kind of things might I be doing every single day that makes it necessary for me to be a pretty good reader? Yeah?
Work.
Work. Exactly. And eventually you guys are all going to be working, is my guess. Most of you will be. And if you want to get a real good job and whatnot, obviously reading is helpful in that venture of yours. So let me get into the actual reading of a book. I've got 2 of them here. I got kind of maybe this one I've never read before, and I'm big on pets, so I figured I'd get, what pet should I get? The Dr. Seuss book. But this is my favorite Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. So if we have time after we read Oh, the Places We'll Go to What Pet Should I Get? All right, and we'll rifle through that one real fast, okay? So, Oh, the Places You Go by Dr. Seuss. I'll try to read and let you see the pictures as well. Let's see, Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. All right, congratulations, this is your day. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. Here he goes. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know. And you are the guy who'll decide where to go. You'll look up and down streets, look 'em over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not-so-good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's avoiding the monster. I think that's a good idea, right? It's opener there in the wide open air. Look at all the choices he's got. Out there things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew, just go right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right? Or right and 3/4? Or maybe not quite. Or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find, for a mind maker-upper to make up his mind. You can get so confused that you'll start in to race down long, wriggled roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish, wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place, the waiting place. For people just waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or a no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. With banner flip-flapping, once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of a guy. Oh, the places you'll go. There is fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won. And the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame. You'll be famous, as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win, because you'll play against you. All alone, whether you like it or not, alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. But on you will go, though the weather be foul. On you will go, though your enemies prowl. On you will go, though the hacking cracks howl. Onward, up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far, and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98 3/4% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So be your name Bucksbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Alley Van Allen O'Shea, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. All right, now comes question and answer time, because I don't just read a book and then move on. We need to talk a little bit about the book that I just read to you. So who's got some good ideas or an idea about what Dr. Seuss is getting at here? Dr. Seuss is always getting at something with almost every book that he writes. All right? Some of them have a little bit more going on in it than you might realize right at first. Yeah?
That life has choices and to always be confident.
Be confident and choices in life. Absolutely. We saw a lot of those choices at the beginning when he was deciding which way to go. Yep?
There's lots of good opportunities and bad opportunities in life.
Absolutely. Good opportunities, bad opportunities. Which ones are you going to take? Right? Yeah.
There's things that block you from the way you're going, and you can either turn around or you can go past it.
Keep on going, right? I think towards the end of the book that he was talking about just keep on moving because you'll get through those tough times. Has anybody ever had tough times before? That's what I get mostly out of this book. There's a lot of choices that he gets to make in this book. But I know that, you know, life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes things don't go your way. And you got to find a way to get through it. And you get through it, and the next thing it's a new day, and things are a little bit better than they might have been the day before. Or you conquer whatever that is that was troubling you. Yeah. Anybody else have some more ideas? Yeah, back there.
Do you think there's a lot of places you can go and a lot of options there are?
Very good, very good. You can do whatever you want. Towards the end of the book, I think he says, and you will succeed, yes, and you will indeed. Right?
Yep.
So you need to keep moving forward and make good choices. Right? Anybody else have some ideas about this book? There's so much going on in here. Nobody's got a bad answer. Yep?
Like, no matter where you go, like, something always good will come out of it.
If you keep moving forward, hopefully, right? Sometimes you might have a, you might find a monster along the way, if you will. Is the monster really a monster, or is that just something else? Is that, it could be anything, right? He put a monster in here, but it could be anything. It could be just a bad day. It could be anything that's troubling you one day, and you need to get through it. Life is filled with ups and downs, right? Hopefully more ups than downs, but we got to get through the downs too. All right, very good. Anybody else? Awesome. Do we have time for one more?
Sure.
Absolutely. Good. Yeah.
My cat's name is Dr. Seuss.
Your cat's name is Dr. Seuss. Who named your cat?
My mom.
Your mom. And why did she name Dr. Seuss? For a reason, perhaps?
Well, he had big whiskers, like
Okay.
the Lorax. And
Okay.
then, she was imagining him with like a big top hat on, so it looked like a cat in the hat.
Very good.
So
Did he ever dress up like that?
no, she was in a tuxedo.
All right, very good. How many of you have ever read What Pet Should I Get? Do you recognize this one? I kind of pulled it out of the stack and I said, this is kind of cool. All right, let's look at it. Looks like it's a little bit shorter perhaps than the last book. We'll see, okay? What Pet Should I Get by Dr. Seuss. You know, one thing about Dr. Seuss too is if you think that you're too old for Dr. Seuss, you're never too old for Dr. Seuss, even if it's one of the kids' books, even if it's something that you might read to a little brother or a little sister or cousin, then they're like 4, 5, 6 years old, you might still get something out of it, all right? So don't be afraid to pick up a Dr. Seuss book every now and then and give it a whirl. What Pet Should I Get by Dr. Seuss. We want a pet. We want a pet. What kind of pet should we get? Dad said we could have one. Dad said he would pay. I went to the pet shop. I went there with Kay. And so we went in. I took one fast look. I saw a fine dog who shook hands. So we shook. So I said, I want him. But then Kay saw a cat. She gave it a pat. And she said, I want that. Then Kay said, now what do you think we should do? Dad said to pick one. We cannot take home two. Then what do you know, we saw two other kinds. Now how could Kay and I make up our minds? A pup and a kitten, they looked like good fun. Now which would we pick? We could only pick one. The cat or the dog? The kitten, the pup? Oh boy, it is something to make a mind up. Then I looked all around. I saw something with wings. I said, look at him. We can pick one that sings. But then, look over there, said my sister Kay. We can go home with our rabbit today. Then I looked at Kay, I said, what will we do? I like all the pets that I see. So do you. We have to pick one pet and pick it out soon. You know, Mother told us to be back by noon. And I could have done it. I could have, I bet. I could have said what pet we should get. But, you know what Kay did? Do you know what she did? She said, fish, 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 fish. It may be a fish is the pet that we wish. Then I saw a new kind. And they were good too. How could I pick one? Now, what should we do? We could only pick one. That is what my dad said. But how could I make up that mind in my head? Pick a pet fast. Pick one out soon. Mother and Dad said to be home by noon. Make up your mind. The time may be now to make up my mind. But who knows what other good pets I might find. I might find a new one. A fast kind of thing who would fly around my head in a ring on a string. Yes, that would be fun. But our house is so small that this thing on a string would bump into the wall. My mother, I know, would not like that at all. So maybe some other good kind of pet. Another kind maybe is what we should get. We might find a new kind, a pet who is tall. A tall pet who fits in a space that is small. My mother might like this pet best of them all. If we had a big tent, then we would be able to take home a yent. Dad would like us to have a good yent, but how do I know he would pay for a tent? So you see how it is when you pick out a pet. How can you make up your mind what to get? But what if we took one of each kind of pet? Then our house would be full of the pets we would get. No, Dad would be mad. We can only have one. If we do not choose, we will end up with none. I will do it right now. I will do it, I said. I will make up my mind. That is up in my head. The dog, or the rabbit, the fish, or the cat. I picked one out fast. And then that was that. I wonder what's in there. What pet should I get? Is that it? Oh my goodness. This is kind of like, this is what the book is about. It's kind of like the cheat notes here. Very good. So they got a pet. What is this one about? Anybody? Besides just going to the pet store and getting a pet. Yeah.
Trying to pick out a pet.
Trying to pick out a pet. Yeah, besides that, what else is it about? Yeah.
It's about that in life you'll have a bunch of different choices and you have to pick one.
I think sometimes you got to make a decision, right? You know, I got an idea about it too. I'll see if somebody else got something that I'm thinking of too. Yes, sir.
I'm thinking that because they would have because there are many things in life. I think it's trying to teach you that sometimes you just have to make up your mind.
You got to make up your mind. Right. Absolutely. Good. Back there.
Sometimes you run into a dilemma.
A dilemma. A dilemma. What's a dilemma?
It's where you have a bunch of choices, but none of them are that great.
Yep. Yep. I think you're right on there. I think we're getting somewhere. Anybody else? She's got another idea. Yes.
Actually, I was going to say on the back one, but it has a bunch of pets that I think they got. Well, they might have got one.
Well, we don't even know what kind of pet because in the picture in the basket it just showed the eyes sticking out, right?
Well, what happened is you can see the cat in the window, so they might have
It's
picked
not
the
the
dog.
cat. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Yep.
It's not the fish because fish can't survive without water.
Good point. Good point. I don't think it really matters what their choice actually was. We don't need to know that. One thing I was thinking was they wanted to make sure that their mom was happy with their choice. They wanted to make sure that their dad wasn't mad. I think they mentioned that a couple of times. So they wanted to make a good choice for their dad and their mom. All right, so sometimes you have to think more than just about yourself when you have choices in front of you. you know? I don't know, what do you think? Does that make sense?
Yes.
A little bit? I bet you guys go home, you want to make your mums and dads happy, right? Right? You don't want to make a choice that you're like, oh, wow, they're gonna be mad at me for that choice, but I'm gonna do it anyway. No, that's not how it works. It's like with me. It's like with me, you know. I go home, I don't have to really worry about my mom and dad anymore. But I've got other people I need to worry about. I want to make sure that they're happy. So it's not just for kids, it's for adults too. We've got a lot of people in our lives that we want to make the right choices for. So I think that's pretty much where we're going with this book. Thank you for your help on that one. I didn't know that, I hadn't read this one before too, so I had to think a little bit. One thing about books, I was talking to another class not too long ago, and we were reading and whatnot. Yeah, you know how you read a book? Is it okay to read a book twice?
Yes.
Is it okay to read things more than once? Sometimes it's hard to understand something unless you read it twice or 3 times or 4 times. You ever you're reading like one of your science books or something like that, and you're reading like a paragraph and you're like, what the heck was that? Do you just move on to the next paragraph?
No.
Or maybe you got to go back to the beginning and spend another couple minutes to make sure you understand where you're at. If you just read straight through but you don't understand, you might not be getting all the knowledge that you want. Yeah?
When I'm reading my book, that happens a lot. I'd be just in the middle of reading it, and I'd be like, wait, what just happened? And then I just read the sentence over and over and over.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't that funny? Because you're actually reading, but your brain might be thinking about something else. Have you ever done that before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what's for dinner tonight. Next thing you know, I just read 2 pages and I have no idea what just happened. You end up going back 2 pages, kind of like watching a TV show or a movie or something like that, and your mind is elsewhere and you really don't know what happened. So it's funny how your brain can kind of do one thing, but you're thinking about something else. It's crazy. Yeah.
One time I was reading a book and I thought like something didn't make sense, so I read it like 500 times and I'm like, this has to make sense, and then I finally figured it out and I'm like, wow.
So you got to persevere, right? Keep on trying, What else, you guys? You've been great. I must say, I love 5th graders. 5th graders rock. Thank you very much for having me today. Remember, when you're in the cafeteria, don't just take the vegetables on your tray. You got to eat the vegetables too. All right, grab an apple, grab an orange. It's all about good nutrition, good healthy habits. All right, I bet you Dr. Seuss has a few books about that too. Maybe I'll bring one of those next year for the next Read Across America celebration. But anyway, thank you very much for having me today. Thank you.